Hey, this is Lee from PPUK. I'm on my own for this episode, but we have an incredibly special guest and a big announcement at the end of this podcast. So please listen to the very end. We have the incredible photographer, Robert Whitman, and his manager, Ellie. So welcome to the PPUK podcast. It's an honor to have you.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, and it's great to meet you. Obviously, famous for photographing Prince in his very early stages, or even before his early stages of his career. Tell us more about how you started in photography.
Well, I was a hippie, and the only thing that I hated to do was I never wanted to work a 9 to 5 job. I never wanted to wear a coat and a tie. None of those things, and I never wanted to have to cut my hair. Because back in those days, everybody had really long hair. So I saw a movie called Blow Up.
Okay.
And it's a very, very famous old movie from, I think, the 60s. It was about a young photographer with long hair and all these beautiful models running around. And I go, this is how I want to spend my life. Just shooting beautiful models and having long hair. So that's what I did. And turned out to be pretty cool, very cool.
And a legendary career from that. So tell us, how did you first meet Prince, and what was your first impressions?
Well, I first met Prince when I was in my living room in Minneapolis. And Gary Levinson, who was Prince's manager at the time, came over to my living room and drove his car over. And he says, "You have got to listen to this." So he had a cassette pulled out, and it was of the song "Soft and Wet,"
Song.
which is a very famous song. And he said, "Come, let's take a drive around the city and listen to this." So we rolled up a big joint and jumped in the car and drove around, and it was really, really cool. I mean, this music just got me going. It was amazing. And that's how I first met Prince. I mean, but I didn't meet him. I was, introduced to his music on my very high drive around Minneapolis. And it was, very, very cool. Then we met, and we went to the recording studio, met quickly. I met Prince just quickly, and we decided to jump in the car and do another drive around. And that really worked out pretty well because he was very shy and I was totally crazy. And we just met and drove around. And for some reason, there was really a cool vibe between Prince and myself, which was very, very great. So, because we have this cool collaboration, this Gary Levinson and his partner decided that we should take photos of Prince because they really wanted to make a press kit on Prince. He was into it, and I was young, and I was just starting my career, and I was just like starting.
Yeah.
So it worked out well.
Did he give you much guidance of like what he wanted, or was he trusting you to kind of guide him? And
There was a lot of trust, but he was very, very shy. He let the music do the talking for him. I was totally crazy, long-haired hippie. But he was very open to some of my suggestions, and we had a cool collaboration. They really wanted me to do some photos for the brochure. What I know is for sure, I would never be able to get this result that we got on this ever again. I mean, yeah, he was just he was totally at the beginning, and they hired me mainly because I think they thought I was good, but I wouldn't charge them any money.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
so that's I think how I got in it. They knew I wouldn't charge anything. Not that I was great or anything, but even though I thought I was good,
I might need you to get me to do my photo shoot then, if you don't charge anything.
that's my problem.
A lot of fans say your photos capture like Prince's vulnerable side. Did you get that level of trust early in his career? Did you?
Yeah, these pictures are very, very raw, and a lot of it is because I don't know. We used crazy props. We did all these things. I had a very small little studio in an ice cream factory, and I didn't realize that he loved ice cream. And one of my biggest regrets is that I didn't do any pictures of him doing ice cream.
I was about to say, yeah, that would have been amazing, Prince with ice cream.
I know, just devastated. But shit happens, as they say. But I got really cool pictures of him, and it worked out. The shots really worked out, and we had a very close bond. And again, it's because I guess I'm simple and easygoing and all these kinds of things, and I wasn't like in your face and
Yeah.
this and doing that. I was, very easy to work with. That's what made my pictures good throughout the years. I was very, very easygoing, easy to work with.
Do you think because it was very early in your career and very early in his career that you kind of had that bond together?
Yeah, totally. I think that's yeah, you totally got it right on the head.
Yeah, and obviously that built a lot of trust. When you took the pictures and stuff, did you see his confidence? Did you see something there that you could say that this guy is going to be, iconic?
I felt it. He's really, I don't know, like in one thing he takes off his shirt.
Mm,
I mean, just to be able to do that in front of the camera and somebody so shy. And then we did all these other crazy things. We used a lot of props that were really bad props, like little rhinestones that you stick on when you had a shirt off. You would
yeah.
stick on. Some of the coolest pictures were when we were in downtown Minneapolis. I wanted him. First of all, he's shy, and
Yeah.
to be downtown Minneapolis with me and a camera and him on the street, it was not. I mean, it takes a lot of balls to do what
Yeah.
he did, and he hated it, and absolutely hated it. And he would turn around, and then he turned around, and I would start screaming, "Make love to the camera," because back back in those days, with all the photographers and the models, one of the biggest things they would always say is "Make love to the camera," and so I started out yelling, and this is in Minneapolis, and all these and Prince is alone on the street. I mean, he was just freaking out, and I would be saying, "Make love to the camera," and then he turned around once and gave me the finger.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite pictures of.
That's one of my
Yeah,
favorite photos.
yeah.
One of my favorite photos of him giving me the finger.
But now that you tell the story, it gives it more context. So it's a good one to remember now that because with some of your pictures, you're wondering what the direction was, what you were saying to him. So like something like that is, thank you for for sharing something like that.
A lot of these pictures have maybe a little backstory to them.
Yeah.
Oh, one other thing. I have all these photos of Prince smiling,
Yes.
and they're very rare. These photos,
Yeah. Very rare.
these pictures, just think they're so raw and just really unique and raw and beautiful. And
Yeah, because obviously it's before he was kind of taken in by the industry, and obviously that changed him quite a lot.
yeah, and it changed his styling, everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially the smiling, and you never see him smiling after these photos.
That's very very true, and very rare that you do actually see him. I think I probably saying, people probably correct me, but I think majority of your pictures, majority of them, he's smiling
Yeah,
compared to other people's photos. And I think with your ones, as much as obviously they're kind of staged, but they're not as staged after that. I think that they're more staged after that. Sorry, that and it's more of the curtains up with you. I think it's before the curtain was up, before he was hiding behind multiple personas and stuff like that. I think you got him very early on, before he kind of hid that, if that makes sense.
yeah, and that's why these photos are so rare and
Yeah,
so really right on.
yeah, exactly. Was there any particular session? I know, like you said, you've got the ones in the street. You got the one where he's the balloon, and obviously with the guitar. Was there any session that was your favourite, or was anything that stood out?
We had, like, I would say, kind of three sessions. We had a studio session in my little studio, and there we got a lot of interesting things, like him blowing bubbles. I mean,
Yeah.
um, and there, when we shot him against the music wall,
Yes, the iconic one. Yeah.
which is one of the most iconic photos of Minneapolis and
Yes.
Prince. I mean, this is the iconic picture. And then we noticed that there's a woman in the car behind. We wanted her to leave, but she wouldn't leave. So
Yeah.
that was kind of a bummer. But in the end, it's cool. These little mistakes or the little things really work out, and they're kind of. This was really kind of cool.
Well, to me, the Prince in the musical is iconic, and it's like probably one of my favorite pictures of Prince, and obviously the lady and stuff. But I think it gives character to him, and also Minneapolis and your photography.
Yeah, I totally agree. When we were in the studio, we tried all these different props. They are so bad that I think they're great. I mean, these pictures of him was like there's a light stand and he's holding on to it, or
Yeah.
I mean, and then two really ugly kind of wooden bookcases, which I mean, how anybody in their right mind would use that, and I did, and it was really bad. And the other thing is, we we had these rhinestones
Yeah.
that you can stick on. So I thought, oh, I have a lens with a star filter. And back in those days, a lot of people were using a lens with a star filter.
Oh,
So
yeah, the very 70s style photography. Yeah, yeah.
the highlight with the hair and all this. But I went to show these pictures to the manager, and they got so pissed because they said, why are these so dirty, and why are there spots on them and all that? And I didn't tell them that was the way it was. I mean,
With the props, did you pick the props, or did he pick the props?
yeah, it was in my studio, and you know, had what we had. They were really bad. The other thing with these showing Prince, he had an amazing body, and I think some of my favorite pictures are him shirtless.
Yeah, and I think a lot of fans would agree. Did Prince, when you did a session, did he like review the photos there, or did he say what he liked? Or
A little bit, but back those days, you don't have it just like this. You can't. to see the photo right
Yeah.
away. So he really didn't get a chance to look and study and da da da. And then he had left right after we did the shoot, the 3 shoots. He left, and I think they took him to California, and he was never seen as the real Prince again.
Yeah, that's true.
One kind of interesting little story
Okay.
is that I was at LaGuardia Airport, and I was on a wall phone, a regular phone at the airport.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Prince walks by, and he says, "Whitman, how are you?" And then within, I would say, 15 seconds, every kid in the LaGuardia Airport was surrounded me, going, "Is that Prince? Is that Prince?" Kind of cool.
Looking back, do you think these images, is there anything you think you might have missed with these pictures? Do you think, would there be anything you would change?
I would have him with the ice cream cone, and I also think there could be several things that were missed, but I think you have to look at the proof sheet, and when you look, maybe he's got something different or something happening that you wouldn't normally see. So just got to study the prints.
Going back to the music wall, even myself, and I think that's how we met Ellie. I'm not. I'm was many fans that go to Minneapolis and do Celebration, or they just go to Minneapolis, go to Paisley Park, or they just go to Minneapolis. A lot of people recreate your picture of the music wall. I've got a really good one of myself, which Ellie was there, and that's how we met. Of me up against the music wall, and obviously you take the picture and you make it black and white, and you try and recreate the music wall. How do you think? How does it make you feel that knowing that a lot of fans recreate your iconic photo?
I think it makes me feel great.
I will share. I'll send it to you. I will share the one of me at the music wall. But yeah, and I'm definitely going to get it blown up and put it in my wall, or might do one like side by side. But yeah, it's a thing to do on the bucket list of going to Minneapolis, is taking that picture.
Yeah, and we're organizing something where fans can go and get a photo of them next to the photo, next to the
Yeah,
music wall.
yeah, that'd be awesome. Compared to other artists that you photographs, how would you compare Prince to other people that you photographed?
Probably the number one, except I do a lot of dancers, shoot a lot of dancers. But Prince, it was just, you knew something huge was going to happen. So it was really a unique period. And, I used to shoot, Minneapolis was big in the bands and all that stuff and dance. So, but I think Prince, this was just an opportunity of a lifetime. And it was really so cool to be able to hang out and create something with Prince.
How do you think your photography fits into his legacy?
Oh, I think amazing. It is his legacy. I mean,
Yeah.
this is how it started. This is real. It's totally how it started.
And I believe you get asked quite a lot by industry and people that are doing documentaries and other stories about Prince. I know that they always come to you to use his images. Is there anything interesting that you can share?
I would go to Ellie because I think that they all go to her.
Anything you can share, Ellie, if it's not top secret or NDA?
Yeah, so we work with a lot of productions. We have we get hit very much almost every week for someone that is doing something with Prince. One thing that I like about Robert that he has protected these photos very
Yeah,
much. Like the expectation of these photos from our side has been I would say minimum because we use usually for licensing purposes or documentaries. We try to use always a set amount of photos. In this way, we try to protect the collection. It's a big collection. It's a
yeah,
623 photos. So, and the world have seen most probably no more than 40 of them. So sometimes it's people will come and say I want what is not seen, and I feel like protecting the collection from being used in every kind of production is very important, mostly when
100%.
there are productions that, like probably, like they don't do justice to the artist. They're not so many, but they are there. And you also want, like the collection to be associated with everything that, brings up talent icon and wants to take care of, his legacy, as you said, about his music and about what he did and what he changed for a lot of people, like. Yes, we do have some project. We had like the very controversial one, which is the one of Netflix. I'm pretty sure everybody knows about
Yeah.
that, and that is never going to be, I think, aired, at least not in the next few years. That was a big project for us because we worked with them a lot. We worked with them for almost 4 years, and we changed different directors. Like we work with a state, and we made like a very cool part. Like where these photos, they were put together as a little movie, and a little,
Yeah.
him in the street of Minneapolis. We walk in, and then we put together all the photos because he shot, of course, analog, and it was easy to put these photos all close to each other. So you will look, Prince, turn to yourself, to Robert, sorry, and give the middle finger and then the peace and then walk away, which was like the best part.
Yeah.
So that is a big one. We have a couple of other small documentaries coming in. We work a lot with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, like when they do any kind of, we did like the memorial for Prince. We work a lot with the estate, with their Parsley Park, they do videos. So honestly, we try all the time, like to be very, very careful how we use the photos. Because you want the photos to be out there, but you want the photos to don't be so much out there for people to get used to them because they are special at the end.
Yeah, and I think it's very important that I love the fact that both you and Robert are protecting these pictures because they are so iconic, and a lot of fans are incredibly they love these images, and it is seeing Prince, and always like the fact that you always say pre-fame and how
They were all done in black and white, which I think is
yeah
so. I mean, they were black and white, and I think that makes it really, really special.
And one thing, to add to what Robert said is that the photo had never been in any kind of way retouched. So
hmm
wherever you see, like wherever photo you see online, and photos have been cleaned up from dust, from the negative, but has never been a retouchment of any kind of way, the photos. So the photos are as they are. A lot of time we get like, oh, can we retouch his hair? Because, like his hair, in some photos, Robert was experimenting with the light and you could see, like the facial
yeah
hair or something like that. And Robert has always been against it. And I really respect that because the photos
yeah.
that were like that, like they don't need to be perfect. I think like they are perfect because they are not perfect.
Well, I think Robert hit the nail on the head when we first started talking. He said they're raw, and that's what they need to be. And I love the fact that Robert is protecting that and not allowing people to make any changes to it because it's as much as it's iconic pictures of Prince, it's an iconic moment in time, and I think a lot of the pictures are all iconic moments in time of the period of Prince and of Minneapolis as well.
And people absolutely love them. Even young kids that go to the galleries or whatever,
Yeah.
they're blown away. And this was a long time ago too. And these young kids are just love these photos.
If you had an opportunity to speak to Prince, what would you speak to him about, or what would you ask him?
I would ask them if we could do the photos over again with some of the same props.
He would probably
And
do it. I think he would do it. I think he'd be up for it. I really do.
towards the
Um,
end, he was wearing his hair in an afro. And
yeah, I was going to mention this. A lot of obviously with piano and the microphone and the tours that he was doing just before he passed, he had that same look, and
yeah,
a lot of people did a lot of comparison photos of him in your photographs and then him next to the piano, and it just He didn't even look like he aged, and it's, him having the afro was incredibly important to him as well. He made several comments on Twitter about, it is his real hair. And, there was this whole debate on social media, and you got the feeling that, that look at the end was incredibly important to him and his music. And it was coming through in his music. Yeah, so we have a big announcement. Thank you, Robert, for being on this podcast. But we are teaming up with Robert and his team. Robert will be doing an exhibition in London from the 24th to the 26th of October. PPUK will be helping with the promotion and the management of the event. And Robert will be there available. There'll be several images on display in this gallery. The venue will be confirmed on the website. We will be posting all the marketing materials later this week of all the news and what's going on in London.
Oh, that sounds great.
Robert will be there to tell stories about ice cream and be signing pictures. There'll be a Q&A on the Sunday on the 26th. Robert will be there, and we'll have a Q&A with Robert, and he'll be signing copies of his book. And there'll be like an open day on the Saturday where people can come in and view all his photography. We'll be doing it for Black History Month because, as we said earlier, his images are very iconic. And in the UK, Black History Month is in October. So we're being a part of that, and we'll be in a venue in London displaying Robert's images. I will be there all 3 days, and other members of PPUK will be there. We'll be doing a party Saturday evening to celebrate Robert's pictures and Robert coming to London. So, and Robert will be there.
I'm very, very excited.
Thank you. There'll be a dedicated website to the event, which will be www.princeprefameuk.com. So it's princeprefameuk.com, and all the details will be on that website. Anything you would like to add, Robert? Ellie, do you want to add anything about where people can learn more about Robert?
Ask Ellie.
Robert has an Instagram profile, which is Robert Whitman Photo. And then we do have a website, which is robertwhitman.com. And we have a dedicated website for prints, of course, with fine art prints. The news and the excitement of this event is also because it's the first time that we are pairing and collaborating with a fan base, which we're very excited about. And this event is basically for fans. Like it's been catered for fans. We want every person to come in and be able to see this image, to get a piece of it at home. And the first time we are printing digital as well, because until now the photos have always been printed in darkroom. So this creates, a space for everybody to be able to get a print of Prince Prefame,
Yeah, it's perfect. And like you said, yeah, it's all for the fans, as most of our events, all of our events that we do are for fans, by fans. So yeah, this is incredibly important. It's a big one for PPUK, and it's great to be working with legendary Robert Whitman and my friend Ellie. So yeah, it's going to be incredible. I'm really, really looking forward to it. And yeah, all the information will be in all our social media. So obviously, please follow us and please follow Robert on his social media channels. Ellie, can we tell fans what to expect from the event?
Yes, I think the most important thing that fans will see is like printed photos of the collection. If you look at the photos online, you will not have exactly the same feeling that you have when you see them in front of you. And I've been watching these photos for the last 9 years, and I can see how emotional I am every time I see them blown up like big in a big size, because you actually see Prince looking at you, which is like very creepy. Sometimes it's beautiful because it seems that he's there with you. So it's like an experience when you have a book, in your hand, and you actually have a physical book reading, and on the other side you have a Kindle. It's like the exactly same experience. You will see the photos in their original deepness and beauty, with all the problems that the photography, analog photography can have in there. And they are unique. And, the fact to be able to see them live is, it's a very special moment. And I will invite everybody to come and just have a look.
Robert, thank you so much.
Thank
Ellie,
you.
thank you so much for being part of this
Thank you.
podcast. You are incredible. Your photographs are legendary with any Prince fan, and it'll be great to see you when you come over to London in October.
I'm very, very excited. It should be really cool.
So this is the PPUK podcast. You can follow us on all our social media. Again, thank you to Robert Whitman for being part of this interview and his manager, Ellie.